All right, Miss Lydia, so we're doing a close read today, first grade.
First grade. This is going to be our second read.
Okay, of this particular text.
This particular text. We've already discovered the main idea. We've talked about the main idea. So now we're going to sequence the text.
Okay.
And we have to impose a sequence in the text. It does have a sequence, and it's about recycling and what they do first, next, and then last. So I have sticky notes that we're going to put in the book.
Okay. So as they read?
As we read it, we're going to find out what's first, next, then, and last. So we're going to just read it again to remind us.
Cool.
And then we'll go back in and we'll put the sticky notes in. And then I have a graphic organizer on the board, and we're going to use our own words to describe what's going on first and next, then last, and we'll organize it on the board.
Onto the board, okay.
Yeah.
And then what about independent practice? Does that come in your third read?
That comes in our third read when we're
So
make
talk
a
to me
project.
about in their first read, you went over key ideas and details, craft and structure, which is the first anchor standard in the core. So of course you nailed, do you use the core to design your lessons? Well, gee whiz, I hope so. Talk to me about what kinds of ahas the kids came up with, or were you pleasantly surprised by how they handled that?
Well, this text is about making a bird feeder, and last week we studied birds and we made a bird feeder.
Oh, perfect.
So they actually went, hey, that was like what we did. Hey, we did that. Hey, I didn't front load them, but as we read, they're like, hey,
we know
this. This is
so
this
you
is
made
like,
it totally relevant for them.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So
too bad it's 50 degrees, 40 degrees outside. And
Yeah.
birds will freeze. So
yeah, gotta feed them anyway.
okay.
So our target is to retell in a sequence.
Okay.
So I'm going to unpack the learning target. I put some really good academic language in our learning target. I will be able to retell the information of a text in the right sequence.
Okay. Yep.
So we're gonna
there's retell,
information, sequence.
Those are big concepts for first grade.
So what I do is we go through, I read it first to them, we read it together, and then we go through and I have them tell words they don't know to a buddy on the carpet.
Okay, so turn and
then,
talk.
yeah, there's a lot of turn and talk in my classroom. And we'll go and we'll put that in our own language by ourselves. I don't put it up there for them.
Okay, good. And the key with turn and talks is that they're short and sweet. It's long enough for the kids to get the information out of their mouths and to their partner, but it's short enough where it doesn't become this prolonged love affair. So that'll be something that I'll kind of look at in terms of pacing. That'll be good. So, what about vocabulary words? Is this fairly rich vocabulary? Is it not so much?
It's not so much. It's not the most complex text, but it does go along with our theme of the week. We're also working on the habit, think win-win.
Okay,
And so when we read,
in the lab leaders.
that's going to be next read. But when we talk about recycling and win-wins, and you know, they got to do a fun project, they didn't spend any money, and they don't have as much trash. So it's a win-win-win.
And that's going to be something you pull in tomorrow when you get into the whole make it their own, the analyze and synthesize part.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, what about kids that had struggled yesterday that you anticipate might struggle today? Who do you have in the back of your mind?
Well, Yondell.
Okay, yeah, he goes without saying.
He did make the birdhouse, so he does have, or the bird feeder, so he does have an idea of what we're doing. But his ability to verbalize what he's thinking is very
which is
diminished.
Which is part of his disability. Do you have him with a targeted partner so that
I do.
They can help him?
I have him with Giselle, who understands everything that's going on. She's also ELL. But I don't really anticipate too many problems.
Okay. I wonder if Giselle, is she at the point, developmentally, she might not even be ready for this, to kind of prompt Yondell to speak at all?
I don't know if even you can do that at the moment.
If he would be able to.
Yeah. I mean, you might try and he might go,
and that might be progress.
and that is what it is. But he does like looking at the stories. I believe he understands what's going on, even though he's not able to communicate. Other than that, The only real, my anticipation of problems is this is the first time we've taken a sequencing book without first, next, then, and last, and putting first, next, then, and last into the book.
Okay, so it doesn't actually have it explicitly in there,
No.
those words, and so they're gonna have to infer.
Yes, so we're
the
gonna have
sequence
to,
of the
we're gonna have to put it in there. They have sequenced before, but we've never put it into the text.
Cool. And
So-
you see, do you see that gonna be a challenge for them?
Well, I see a lot of scaffolding needing, like, they're probably going to want to do, this is first, this is next, this is then, and this is last, and there's still a whole bunch of the book left.
Right.
So we need to talk about, are they really doing the same thing, or are they doing something different?
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see that. All right, what about the types of questions? Have you planned out the types of questions that you're going to be asking in terms of getting them to that, getting them from a text and then having them break it down into first, then, next, last?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them, are they really doing something different?
Mhm.
Or are they doing the same thing as before? And when they get to this part where they're going to make something for the birds, I'm hoping that they realize, oh yes, that is different.
Okay.
And then they spend a few pages making something for the birds. So I'm gonna keep prompting them, are they really doing something different, or are they still making the birdhouse, the bird
So
feeder?
it's a pretty open questioning.
Yes.
And I see that
And
anybody
we're
could
gonna
get
do
an
that.
entry point, especially since you've already made the bird feeder, so that'll be
Yeah.
really good for them.
Yeah, and then she hangs it and the birds come. So I believe I have the questions ready, but you know, first grade is an adventure every day.
Yes, you never know how it's gonna be. Okay, so in terms of what you want me to look for, one thing that I'm definitely gonna look for is unpacking that vocabulary from the learning target, but then also tying that first, then, next, last, and inferring that from just what's written in the text, since it's not explicitly written, which I like. It's bumping up that rigor just a little bit, so. Is there anything in particular you like? Do you want me to script out your questions? Do you want me to script out who you ask questions to? Okay.
No, I'm gonna do a lot of thumbs up so I can see who in the whole class is thinking about it. If they're doing something new in the book, that would be a next stage or a next step.
Besides Yandel, who are your really low WIDA kids? I have it on my computer.
Jesus,
Jesus.
Justin, and Kimura.
Kimura, who knows what she's doing, she just can't get it out.
Well, she has anxiety about getting it out, I believe, and it just takes a long time to process it.
So, you feel like they're going to be successful in this
Yeah.
as well. And then what about Gabe, your high kid? Is he gonna
Eli?
be up? Oh, is it Eli? Oh, I'm sorry, yeah,
It's the little
Gabe's the older brother. Sorry, Eli.
Eli's gonna have a fun time.
Okay,
So
cool.
he actually makes connections very fast. So when I was reading this for the first time, he was, wow, other people do this.
And what's cool, I kind of like that you did it, you know, you already made the bird feeder and now we're going into the, not that you want to cheat and offer them too much background knowledge, but now the text really is the center of what you did last week, so that's kind of cool. Okay.
So,
All right, so then 10 o'clock, I'll be in there. We're looking at reading informational text
okay.
and sequencing. Thank you, dear.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.